Hi everyone, this is Pretty Kaushal, and today I'm going to introduce about the course Morphology. The name of our course is Introduction to Morphology. This is basically for BA honors fifth semester. Sixth semester. Um, what is morphology? The definitions of morphology, the scope of morphology, the nature of morphology that we are going to deal with this definition in this class. So let's start. What is morphology? Before starting the introduction about morphology, I would like to introduce about the previous levels that we have done in BA first semester. That is related to linguistics. These are the levels of linguistics, and what are the levels of linguistics that you should know about to read morphology. The first level of linguistic is phonetics, then phonology, then we come to morphology. If you know phonetics and phonology, then it's easy to understand morphology. Then after morphology, we study syntax, then semantics, then pragmatics. Uh, I would love to I would love to give you definitions. What is phonetics? Basically, phonetics is a study of sounds in which we deal with the pronunciation, transcription, how we pronounce the words correctly. It's basically related to the articulation, production about sounds. So then we have morphology that deals with the internal structure of words. In other words, the scientific study of words. Then syntax. Syntax is also related to it. It is also a level of linguistics. So the definition of syntax is the study of sentences, internal a word. You can say word formation, or you can say sentence formation. Then we have semantics and pragmatics. Semantics and pragmatics both have different meanings, but both of them go hand by hand because both deals with the meaning of the word, where semantics deal with the meanings. For example, if I'll say what pen. Okay, so what is the literal meaning of pen? Pen means pen, which is in blue color or black color in different colors, and it has a plastic body, or you can say metallic body that we can write on a piece of a paper. But in pragmatics, if I'll say, let's take an example of pen, but for that pen, I cannot say that pen is a pragmatic meaning. No, it's a semantic meaning because we um, we we are taking the meaning of pen in isolation. Okay, we have an image, so this is pen. But when we talk about pragmatics, we talk about that if this is a pen, so I have to create a sentence or create a context for pragmatics. So the definition of pragmatics is the study of meaning within context. Meaning is important because context is there. So that's why semantics and pragmatics go hand by. Let's start with morphology. The objectives that are definitions, scope, and importance. So let's know about what is the history, what are the scopes, and what is the importance of morphology. Then we'll discuss and um, detail the morphology subject. Okay, so what is morphology? What is the scope and nature of morphology? Morphology is commonly defined as a scientific study of the internal structure of words. Andrew Spencer and Arnold Zwicky, they both are very great linguists, view morphology as a conceptual center of linguistics since words, the object of study of morphology, are at the interface between phonology, syntax, and semantics. As I gave you the definitions of morphology, phonology, syntax, and semantics. So morphology is also a part of linguistic levels of linguistics. So words have phonological properties. Their form often reflects their syntactic function, and their parts are often composed of meaningful smaller pieces. The German poet Okay, the German poet, novelist, playwright, and philosopher named Johann, or you can say Ben Goethe, is a very famous playwright. In the date is 1749 to 1832, coined the term morphology in the 19th century in a biological context. This word is of Greek origin. The term morph, that is the term morph means form, Form, and morphology means the study of those forms. In linguistics, morphology refers to the mental system involved in word formation or to the branch of linguistics that deals with the words, their internal structure and how they are formed. I repeat once again, that is, in linguistics, morphology refers to the mental system involved in word formation or to the branch of linguistics that deals with words, their internal structure and how they are formed. Okay, let's move to another slide, which is based on morphemes. Okay, to understand morphology, morpheme is the basic unit in morphology. I have written that smallest indivisible unit, which means, in other words, if I would like to define the term morpheme, is like it is the minimal meaningful unit of the language and called morpheme. Minimal meaningful, these are the two important terms here. That is minimal, that means smallest. Meaningful means it has potential to change the word. Their examples are written over here. First example is lamp, that has one morpheme, and lamps with sir, suffix sir, it has two morphemes. Okay, if I'll give you another example, teach and teacher. Teach has only one morpheme and teacher has two morphemes. We can say morpheme is equal to word. In these cases, morpheme is equal to the word. Morpheme has to, how we can know that a word has one morpheme or two morphemes. Say the example lamp. It is a root word, smallest indivisible unit, which means the word should be of, and lamps has lamp plus it has suffix, so it's a in plural. So lamp and lamps. So we have two morphemes. In the same way, nation has one morpheme. National, nation plus al, that is suffix, has two morphemes. Nationalism has three morphemes because nation, al and ism. In this we have two suffix, al and ism. So that's why in Hindi we can call it Sandhi Vichhed, like a nation plus al plus ism. So in हिंदी में हम इसे संधि विच्छेद कहते हैं. If you want to know in a, so in this way you can understand the morphemes, that you can count the morphemes very easily. If I'll give you an example of like pen and pens. So pen have one morpheme, pens have two morphemes. Okay, because in pens we have suffix added there. And moreover, morpheme has two forms. First one is physical form and second one is abstract form. Morph, M-O-R-P-H, morph is a physical form of morpheme. For example, cat. If you know the phonetics, we have sounds for cat is k, a, t. Okay, so every morpheme has a morph. K, a, t, that is cat, has its particular pronunciation, particular spelling, and particular word structure. And then we have abstract form, that is, as we are talking about lexemes, these are the physical realization of lexeme. In other words, I would like to describe here Bloomfield defines words actually. So, words as a minimal pre-unit, it is the same as defining words as whole units between two spaces in a written context. However, these definitions are too insufficient to explain the um, complicated, you can say, concept of word. The term word is often used in two different senses, as a physical unit and as a semantic entity. These physical entities are written or spoken forms of a word are called word forms. In other words, word forms are the physical realization of lexemes. They include all the inflected forms of lexemes, for example, sit, sat, and sitting, and you can see in the slide that it is written walk, walked, walking. So these are the physical forms of the word sit or walk. Lexeme, in other words, is a term used to denote the usage of word to refer the semantic entity. It is normally defined as the vocabulary items listed in a dictionary, because these are the root words. These are the main words. Because in the way that morpheme, that we know the definition of morpheme is indivisible, smallest indivisible unit of language. So these are the dictionary items, these are the main items, or you can say these are the root words. A lexeme includes all inflected forms of a word. It is an abstraction and is indicated by small capitals, for example, small s, small I, small t, small s. And in the same example is like walk. Okay, come to the next slide, that is based on words. What is word in morphology? Because what is word? That what we are doing, which is a study of morphology, is a study of words. So, what is word actually? So, the definition of word, we can say a word is made up of one or more than one morpheme. Each morpheme each morpheme, a word has its own meaning, that is, listing. I give you an example like cat, k, at, if you know the pronunciation, if you know the transcription of cat, then it has one listing. Uh, Cat can be of two meanings. For example, cat is an animal, or in figurative language, we can say that she's such a cat. Okay, so word has four meanings, and it is depends on spelling, pronunciation, morphemes, and meaning. Spelling means simple spelling, the cat, C-A-T. Pronunciation, it can be mono, it can be dia, it can be poly. Morpheme, it can be one morpheme, two morpheme, three, four, five, any length. It has more than two morphemes, more than three morphemes, more than five morphemes. Then the fourth meaning of word, it depends on meaning. What will have one or more than one listing? For example, bank. Bank can be bank has multiple meanings. For example, blood bank. It can be financial bank. It can be river bank, or it can be any name of the building. Their words can also be classified by simple and complex. Words can be simple, complex, compound, and compound complex. Simple word means words cannot be broken any further. For example, cat. You cannot break the word cat into multiple meanings. Okay. Um, Complex words is a word that the root word plus an affix, where you have a root word and you have an affix. Affix maybe of prefix. Affix has its three meanings that we are going to deal with further, but affix, for example, suffix, prefix, and infix. Okay, so we'll deal affix later. For example, teacher, teacher, teach plus er, artist, art plus ist, lamps, lamp plus sir. So these are the affixes. Er, ist, sir. These are affixes. These are the compound words. Or we can understand the meaning of compound words as like two separate words which can combine and make a word. For example, moonlight, blackbird, flashlight. These are the compound words. Compound complex means compound words plus affix. Then there is a concept of free and bound morphemes. So we have two types of morphemes, or you can say basic morpheme structure. So we have two basic morpheme structures that are free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes are independent, or you can say separate word, or you can say dictionary entries, cannot be divided, or you can say these are lexical items, or lexical morphemes are dictionary entries. So, for example, enjoy, cheer, light, politics, politician, political. These are uh, these are what free morphemes that you have a simple word. The main word, root word, those all are free morphemes. First form considered free form of any word. If you have pen, then pens. That means the first form of pens is pen. So we have the first form of any word is free morpheme. It can be of two types. Free morphemes can be of two types. Free morpheme are independent words, and words are of two types. Number one, content words and function words. So content words are those that belonging to the major part of classes, and we have four part of speech, four kinds of speech, that is noun, verb, adjective, and adverb. And these four categories, uh, these words are bound to change with changing language, you can say that. Then we can say it is an open-ended system, and open-ended system in a way that, for example, child acquiring language, they use content words, not a function words. For example, telegraphic speech. जब भी कोई बच्चा बोलता है तो वो he or she always use content words, the main words like mama, pani, mama, bottle, mama, pen, phone. So child always use the main or the content words, not function words, not helping words. So telegraphic speech can be example of content words. Postcards can be an example of content words. Speech disorders use content words. Next is function words, that is another kind of category or type of theme, that is function words. Uh, Function words belong to or function as a grammatical class. For example, articles, prepositions, conjunctions, auxiliaries, demonstratives, which in any language tend to include a small element. Okay? Uh, it expresses a grammatical sense, or it means a grammatical sense to the sentence. For example, the man and the woman. Okay, the is article, man is the main word, that is noun, which is content word, and again the conjunction, which is function word. Then we have bound morphemes. They are morphemes which uh, do not have any independent status and are attached to free morphemes to form a word, but it has its own meaning. Bound morphemes are divided into three categories, and they are affixes, contracted, and bounded. In simple language, if I describe what is bounded, then like pens. Okay, again and again I'm giving you same example. Okay, tables. So sir is a bound morpheme because if we use sir, then it has no meaning in itself. So we have to use suffix sir with some main word that it can be produced some kind of a meaning. So sir is here bound morpheme because sir is always comes with the main word and has its and created its own meaning. For example, um, book, books. So sir, a walk, walking. So ing is to be bound to make its own meaning with the help of the main word. So we have three types of bound morphemes that are affixes, contracted, and now there are questions for you. You, to know about the morphology, you should know the key words. What is morphology? What are morphemes? What are pre-morphemes? What are bound morphemes? What are words? What are axioms? So morphology, that means the study of words. Morphemes, smallest indivisible unit. Smallest means it cannot be separate or it cannot be broken down further, and free morpheme and bound morpheme are the two types of morpheme. There's a structure of morphemes where free is a root word, independent dictionary entry. The first form of any word is free morpheme, and bound means bound, that has its own meaning but with the help of free morpheme. Then we read words, then lexemes. So for the next class, you should know about these definitions. You should be careful about read definitions. And these are the references from where I have made this slide and gave the presentation to you all. Thank you.